Hi guys, thanks again for joining me. I'm Anne, and in this video I'm going to give a general love reading focusing on divine partners, and that includes all types of soulmates, twin rays, twin flames, karmic connections, and all love relationships that you are connected to. So if you've landed the first time on this video, I invite you to watch. I'm sure there's a message for you, because that's how the messages are given to us randomly from spirit, from either through readings through the internet or from just in various locations. So as many of you know, I'm back from my trip to France, and I'm loving just being home, and it's just so calming. You know, when you come back after a long trip, like a long journey like that, it just feels so like you're revitalized, and you're like rejuvenated just to see everything back home. But though I loved what I saw, and I showed it and shared it with everybody, you guys all came with me. It was great. I had a wonderful time, but even a better time because you guys were like a part of it. Because everywhere I went, honestly, I would say to my husband, and he would like, Reno would be like, yeah, it's time to record something, let's do it. So he was all in for it. So we were like, we had a group with us. You were with us, and it was a lot of fun. Something different. I always share it, but this time I really shared it. Okay, so now that we are coming into September, it's a September crisp day. It's nice, it's beautiful. Sun keeps popping in and out. The lighting looks a little weird because I have some lattice on top of me with some ivy, but it's still very beautiful out here. I just love it. The lighting is maybe a little off, so please forgive if it does look a little blotchy. Okay, here we got a cloud. I like clouds. I love clouds. Okay, and you know, this is a time we have to just start like embracing fall, autumn, and some of you are experiencing spring. Spring is wonderful. I love spring, but I love fall, and I'm in fall, and I look forward to it. It's my favorite season. It really is, and not because my birthday's in October, but because it's just, you know, it's just a time when everything is just settling in, and that's what I think I love the most about it, because it's like winding down time, because there's been so much like hectic activity in the month of July and August, and there was like some crazy energy shifts, and honestly, they are still going on. The energy shifts right now have been increasing, and a lot of us have been feeling kind of like drained. You may be feeling it as well. Okay, so the first card that I pulled was Winter Solstice Reflection. As you can see it, a little reflection from my camera light. But as you can see, that the winter solstice doesn't necessarily mean that it's full-blown winter, but it's more of like reflection of something inside you. Divine Masculine is starting to get that. Divine Masculine is starting to feel that. That reflection. It's kind of like when you look into a mirror. You know, when you pull a mirror out, you look at yourself. Many times you don't really you're not really excited to see yourself in the mirror, especially if it's in the morning, because you're not prepared. But that's the thing. You need to see it. You need to see it, and that's why the reflection of the Divine Masculine, which lives inside of all of us, it's part of what we do in order to get ourselves better. So the Divine Masculines are now starting to feel it. You're starting to feel it. You're starting to feel like, I'm starting to see myself. They're coming up. They're revitalizing. That's just what winter solstice represents. It's the death, not the death, but the ending of the sun coming into the new sun, because that's what's rising. That's why it's always at the end of the year, and we talk about that you know, during winter solstice. Not that we're going to talk about that now, because we don't want to talk about winter, but it's also divine truth. The truth is coming through as well, so they're starting to see that. So as you can see with these two cards, interesting, okay, very interesting. The truth and reflection, seeing themselves in a light where they haven't saw themselves before, is helping them to realize what they need to do. And that explains a lot of the energy shifts that we've been experiencing. Yes, it's been going on since before the Lionsgate, you know, eclipse season back in July. That was a pretty intense time for purging and releasing. I know we all went through it, including myself. August was another time with purging, but also it was kind of like a rebirth of something happening. Something is coming through. not all the time that it's negative, but sometimes it can feel like it's negative, because it's like a lot of this stuff, guys, has to get out. So a lot of this stuff has to be released. And if it's not released, we accumulate it. By accumulating it, we hold on to a lot, and then we end up not becoming our authentic self. So now that we're starting all over again because of the rebirth, because of the changes, Lionsgate portal back in August, and now coming into some interesting things, that's basically we're feeling a new beginning. That's what this card is telling us. A new beginning. It's dawn. Just like when we talk about the sunrise, as many of you know how beautiful sunrises are, they are new beginnings. They're kind of like rising up. A new sense of tomorrow is happening. You know, we always look forward to that because it's exciting. It's a rebirth. And that's where Divine Masculine starts to like realize that they can do it all over again. The new beginnings are coming, guys. The new beginnings are coming to you. Not necessarily just for Divine Masculines, Divine Feminines, you too. You're feeling that sense of new energy, new beginnings, new changes. It's coming through. But you have to remember, when these energy shifts happen, you can't classify them as, oh, everything is going down, everything is getting negative, or everything is becoming heavy. No, welcome it and say there's a purpose for it. There's a divine purpose. Because over the years, yeah, we feel sometimes there's like, how much can I endure? How much am I supposed to go through? You know, sometimes people blame God, some people blame whatever, because they blame it on something, because they don't want to acknowledge. Sorry about that. It's still warm out. It's motorcycle season. I love motorcycles. They're pretty. I love them. But anyways, so it's about embracing that feeling that you're going to be welcoming in. You know, even though we can look at the glass half empty and say, well, that just figures, you know, and that's what a lot of people do. And I'm not judging you. I'm not telling you how to think or what to do about it. But try to help yourself get up. You know, it's all about lifting yourself up, lifting your vibration. When you lift your vibration, you actually have the power to do this. As this card is telling you, when you have the power to lift yourself up, to raise your vibration, that new beginning we talked about is actually something that is about to start, about to begin, about to emerge. Kind of like I talked about autumn coming through. I know autumn seems like a wind down, but spring seems like it's going up, and you know, like it's kind of like going into like a certain pyramid, I guess. But it's actually looking at it in different angles. If you look at it in a different angle, like I said, with autumn, to me that's very exciting. To me, it's like, I know a lot of people don't like autumn because they know what's up the next season, but a lot of people love it because it's just so beautiful. It's colorful, it's vibrant, it is still energizing, but it's also a time to get prepared, because you know that there's a new energy, a new feeling about to happen, and that's the winter solstice. And I'm not saying let's look forward to winter, but it is a part of what the 4 seasons are. You want to embrace everything you can because it's a time to catch up. It's a time to release. With everything that's going on, you have the power in your hands to do and say and make things happen in a higher level, in a higher light. In other words, you have the upgrade inside of you, but you just have to take it. Divine Feminines, there is fire. That's a sense of passion, a feeling of passion. There is passion. You still have passion, but are you really living up to what the passion you have in your heart, in your mind, in your soul? Your soul center is telling you, this is the passion I have. Go with what your gut says to you, whatever that is. Divine Feminines have this feeling, sometimes they just cramp up and they close up and they keep everything bottled up inside. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But you're preventing something from emerging, like what I just talked about with the new beginnings, with dawn and power. This is a good reason why a lot of people can't find the love that they want, and they could be involved with somebody, they could be in a committed relationship, but they still don't have the love. Does that mean that they have to leave their partners? No. Does it mean that they are not they're not loving their partner? No. It means that they have to find the passion inside of them, because the passion lives inside of you. Think about that for a second. You know, really ponder that. Look at this card and really look at this card if you can. I mean, I know there's a little bit of a glare, but as you can see, this passion is there. I think that's huge for a lot of people, to find the passion to get back on track. Also, if there's a relationship you're not completely connected to, and maybe you're trying to get there, well, that passion is there. You're feeling the passion, but you're not living the passion. Do what you need to do. Follow what your own gut says, what your heart says. Sometimes it's just about letting go, as this card is telling us. Letting go of anger issues. You know, a lot of times, divine feminines will hold on to the anger. And not because they're mad at anybody, but they're mad at themselves. Forgiveness is the key with all love. Forgiveness as in forgiving yourself. You did nothing wrong. And I tell you this because I know. You did your very best, whatever that may be. I don't know your situation. You know, what I'm doing here is I'm here to just help you make the decision. Because I'm not God. I'm nowhere near God. God, you know, it's all about what messages we get that we use to our highest good. And that's what I like to do with these readings, is that not tell you what to do, but help you make the decision, because it is your choice. It is your journey, and we're all on it together, because we all have our own challenges. So letting go. There's something, think about that for a second. You know, really listen to what your own gut is telling you. What am I holding on to? What am I not releasing? What am I not getting? I hear this all the time, and I'm always asked, what do I need to be letting go of? And if I can tell you that, you know, I can help you find it, okay? And maybe I can get a vision of something that will tell you what it is that you need to let go of. But to actually tell you, no, because nobody tells us anything. We have to make our own decisions. We have to do it ourselves, because that's just the way it is. That's why we're in this body. You know, our soul is all connected. Our souls are all connected. Each and every one of us is connected. We're on around the world, billions of people. We're all the same, from the same soul source. Doesn't matter where you're at, who you're at, male, female, the souls are all connected, okay? It's just the bodies are not, the DNA is not connected. Though we're maybe related, but though we're not related as in we're the same, okay? So just think about that. You know, like I told you before, there's a lot of messages that come through, and I see so many things when I'm giving these readings. But the thing is that it's up to you to take what resonates with you and, you know, use it. Sometimes it's good to just pencil it in, write it down, because letting go and following the passion is very, very important. This is 2 key factors for divine feminines. Let it go, realize, and open up. Open up to what that passion is. Maybe the passion is not love, okay? Maybe it's not about love. Maybe it's a passion about, you know, creativity. Maybe it's a passion about what you feel in your heart that you've been wanting to do for so long. A lot of people have it, and a lot of people are not embracing it. They're afraid of it. And don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of what you want to do. Take a chance. I always say, you know what? I don't know if you watch football or not. I always say it's like throwing a Hail Mary. Let me just try it one last time. We can throw Hail Marys like forever. I'm always throwing a Hail Mary. Leap of faith, they call that. Taking a chance. Not that everything is a guarantee. Remember that. Everything is not marked in stone. But though, if you don't try, and if you don't release and let go and just go with your passion, you're never going to find it. You're never going to find what your true calling is. Full moon, completion, completing things, getting things done, and you know it's all about what is being given to you, because deep inside that full moon energy is trying to tell you this is the right thing to do. This is something I need to do. And the inner calling is also another key factor here. When something is calling out to you, you know, like I told you, divine feminines are getting pretty in tune with things. That's what I have to say. Completion, inner calling, and opening up to that inner child. Inner child meaning that something is telling you what is necessary. If you don't get it, if you don't find it, it's never going to happen for you. It's all about taking what you feel and not abusing it, but not really, how could I say, not letting it go either. It's more about just go with it, just use it. I had it while I was shuffling. I did get a card, it was called Tusami, Wake Up Call. So when I pull up these cards, these types of cards, and then a card falls out, sometimes two, sometimes three, not the whole deck, but I know that there's another message, and maybe it's not coming through, a wake-up call. So for those of you who are getting this and see that a lot of this is resonating, but there's also something else that you're supposed to hear about, it's the wake-up call. There is a wake-up call. Something is happening. Maybe this is for you, or maybe this is for your divine partner, but there is definitely a wake-up call. Something new with changes, a new beginning, something is going to happen that is going to just change everything. Not that this card is meaning that it's a tsunami, because it just means the energy. The energy. Remember, storms and hurricanes and all these things is all energy from the earth, from around. Yes, they're fierce. They're not what we like to see. We're not what we like to experience. But when they're thrown in the cards like this, they're symbolic. So we don't look at them as what the card actually says, but what it represents. If you understand what I mean. It's just part of the process with awakenings, new beginnings, changes, a wake-up call. Something you're not getting, something you're not seeing. Meditate over it and really look inside what your heart keeps saying. Your heart is pondering this in your heart over and over. If there's a relationship that maybe you're holding on to and you know that there is no hope, but you know that there's something there that's holding on to you and you're holding on to this person, it's a good idea to have a wake-up call and realize this is a wake-up call telling you, do I stay with this person or do I just push it away? That's why I'm saying it's all about what you need to do. Now, I'm not here to tell you to stay with a person when it's bad or good or whatever. I'm here to help you to make that decision. A lot of times you can get codependent on someone. And I mean, no disrespect if you are, but the reason why you're codependent a lot of times is because you just don't want to be alone, or you have a bad feeling of being alone, or maybe something happened to you that, you know, maybe you're out of a bad relationship and you just got involved with someone that just makes you feel, okay, this is good for now, and maybe it's been going on for a little while and no one new is coming into your life and nothing is happening and you're just at a stagnant place. It's time to really look at, do I really kid myself and fool myself and say I have to be with this person because it just makes sense, or do I move on? I mean, sometimes being alone for a little while to find yourself, to heal, can be a good thing also. Or it could be that you're, finding this relationship is not being repaired. So like I said, it's just, up to what your own spirit is telling you, not what I'm telling you, okay? So lots of messages. Lots of messages came through, and we see a lot of changes coming through. We see a lot of teeter-totter stuff, and that's good. That's good because it means one thing: something is rumbling, something is going on. We don't like to see stagnant. I really don't like that word stagnant, standstill, because that can go on for a little while, and then when that happens, we end up feeling like nothing is happening, and it just makes more frustration. But when we see something going on, something is building up, I can see something going on here. Is it bad or good? Well, your situation is unique. Remember, I always said that. I say you take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. Or maybe this is a reading more about what your partner is going through. So whatever is going into your mind and what you're feeling, that's what you need to take with you. Write it down. Maybe it's for both of you. I'm telling you. Or maybe you know somebody. Messages come through, and I'm always taking them as they come to me. Seriously, if any of you know me, you know what I do all the time. So, I'm getting this reading out a little later today because it's just been so hectic since I got back. And just coming back to myself, as many of you have been watching me on social media, I've been documenting kind of like, it's like a documentary. I don't know if we would call that as a documentary. But that's what it feels like. It feels like, okay, I'm going to let my friends know what we're doing so that we can share it together, because, I just want to be with you guys, and I mean it. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. So, like I said, I hope that this reading resonated with you. And if it doesn't, you know, just revisit this video so that you can get the messages. Sometimes that happens. A lot of times I get messages from my own readings, seriously, and they're not mine. They're just coming from above and being interpreted. And I'm like, oh my gosh, now I know what that meant. Why did that come out like so vividly to me? And I was feeling it while I was giving the message, because sometimes I don't understand what I am feeling and why the message is different than what the cards are saying. It's not me. It's just a message that comes through. I use the cards as more of like a tool. And the tools that I use and the crystals that I use, say I have like several crystals holding the cards down, but I also love the crystals because they energize me and they energize the reading and the messages, and you guys can all feel it. See, I have here some beautiful crystals that I hold while I'm talking. So I just want to say to you guys, thank you so much. And I can't say enough how much you guys really like lift me up so much. And that's just part of it. I'm saying it's like there's like so much that I want to give back to you guys because I love you guys. And you know, I want to like engage more in conversations and communication, and I do on Instagram. I'm trying to do a little bit more on Facebook, but the thing is that Facebook, I can't do too many platforms at one time. The social media networks sometimes get me a little dizzy, but I love them. I have 3 phones, so you know, I'm going from one end to the other and doing different things. My phones are not like my phones; they're like phones for different uses, if that makes sense. So I try to keep productive and keep busy, and you know, just keep everything going, because now that I'm back with the pups, yeah, the pups are doing great. Kisses is doing wonderful. She was being taken care of by a wonderful person, Mo, and she's a Reiki master, dog technician, vet technician, and she was wonderful. Kisses came back like a new pup. She's not, you know, having that vestibular thing going on where her head was a little tilted, as many of you know. Bear is eating more. He seems to be eating more. Paul was doing a great job with her. And Snowy, you know, she's hardly coughing, which I am so happy. We got our new meds and everything. So far everything is calm, and that's the way we like it. So I came back to like I left with I had some stress about leaving. Remember I talked about this with you guys, that I didn't want to leave, but I did want to leave. I know I needed to leave. Remember we talked about, you know, I talked about, not we talked, but we did kind of. And I explained to you guys that it was very difficult for me to leave everything like this because, you know, my heart was hurting. And at the same time, you know, I have a family in France, my husband's family, my family that I love very deeply. They're going through stuff. And that turned out wonderful. So things are getting better over there. So things are getting better over here. So that's why I said you have to just embrace. You have to do what you have to do and get it going. I'm excited for other things to come and other events, and you know, it's just like sharing with you guys. It just makes me feel so uplifted to meet you guys this way. So if you're not following me on Instagram or Facebook, I really hope that we can you know, get to know each other. Just DM me, let me know it's you, because I don't know. I get like so many people that I don't know, and especially usernames. You can tell me, yeah, we're friends, we follow each other, and I'm like, okay, what is your name? So, you know, I'm only limited to knowing like a certain amount of people. So, anyways, I know I'm babbling. So until next time, God be with you all. Namaste.